So last week afterwards I asked some of you to give me a little bit of feedback. Very small number of people have done that. So I'm going to spend hopefully no more than 3 minutes just going through that. If anybody actually wants to contribute to that, that would be quite useful because I can adjust. So, and particularly if you see this and think, no, hell no, that's not what I want. So there's quite a bit of enthusiasm for practice questions on the discussion boards. This, by the way, mixes OUA and face-to-face. There were only, I think, 7 people from face-to-face and 3 from OUA who've responded. So very small sample size. For those people who are interested, enjoying doing practice questions, so I will keep providing more opportunities to do that, particularly today. You're liking the detail in the PowerPoints, etc. So again, probably good feedback from me is if you're not seeing that. This is a group that likes group participation. It even appeared that the OUA people were saying they like group participation, which usually on recordings, not so much. And there were lots of words like energy and enthusiasm and stuff like that. So that's good. That's stuff we're doing now, which people are saying is helpful. Some of the longest list I have here is stuff that apparently I'm already doing, but we'd like to see a little bit more of. Linking concepts back to the cases. Again, I'm going to ask, I think that's great to do, and I already thought I was doing it quite a bit, but I can see that that might not be the case, particularly because I've done this for such a long time. A lot of it's just embedded in my memory. And so, of course, that makes sense. You understand the principle is this, and then I'm not linking them. It doesn't necessarily come naturally. So call me out on it, okay? Just call out if it's not happening, and I'll pay special attention to that when I'm doing my prep. What else here that I just want to make a comment on? One of these, the one second last from the bottom, actually came out of the tutorial, a discussion in the tutorial on the weekend. I think I'm walking around the classroom with my microphone and I should be catching the questions, but apparently on the recordings the questions are coming out a little bit low. And there's also a comment in the commentary that sometimes the volume in the recordings is a little bit low for people who listen to it in the cars. So that's something that I will try and do something about. But that requires you guys getting used to me doing a bit more and repeating the question. There's someone who's very keen to be handling exam questions now. I'm not going to do more of that right now, other than what's in the discussion boards, etc., because the exam is actually a really long way away, and my whole rationale for teaching this is to make you better lawyers, not make you better at exams. I will, given that the feedback's come through, I will make some inquiries about what support there is for exam practice around, because it's sort of something I've been meaning to find out for a while and haven't done anything about. That will prompt me to do that. But I think right now, don't worry about that too much, that I have managed to get the vast majority of people through over the 5 and a bit years that I've been teaching this, and some of them actually do very well indeed, and so we'll find a way to get there. Some really good feedback, which is probably less relevant now, but I will definitely take on board, is somebody had shared that they thought it would be good at the beginning of the semester if we were a little less samey, is how I'm going to read this, on the first lecture, that there was some feedback. Well, first lecture is quite boring and it's pretty much the same in every class, which I can see how that would happen. But at the same time, there's sort of parallel feedback is everybody teaches a little bit differently, and it'd be really useful to be more explicit about what that means for this class. So again, I don't know, it's completely anonymous, the feedback, so I have no idea who's giving that, but I think the combination of those 2 pieces of advice is something I'll definitely take on board for next semester. What could I do a little bit less of? You guys are very kind. There wasn't very much do less of, and so I think I've got 1 point. first detail, I'm mixing those two together. What do I need to do a lot less of? You might have noticed I started without the clap at the beginning. There's a hater. I don't know, it is helpful to me to get that nice little sound point that the OUA people can't hear so that I can make sure that the recording is good. But I guess I've always thought of it as quite a good way to get your attention and bring you back into the room. So I certainly didn't mean to be childish about it or anything. So I'll stop doing the clap. I'll find another way to engage your attention. So that's and people have made some very nice comments. It's easy to get the love in contract law because it's actually a fascinating and really interesting subject, and most people have very low expectations of it. You expect to hate it. So, you know, I think I'm on the winning side here anyway, but some people have said some lovely things, and it does sound like many of you are enjoying the course and getting something out of it, which is great. At the same time, it's a really small sample size, and one of the reasons for sharing that with you really quickly is because I will take action on it, but I'm very happy to hear the feedback, and if you think I can do a better job, then if you can give me that feedback, that will help. Having said that, I'm going to be really hard to catch for the next 2 weeks because I got a hell of a lot of marking to do.